Hi, welcome back to my channel. This is Vickie with VJ Designs. In this video, I am going to make the craft roulette card for this week. And I'm going to attempt to do a little watercoloring. I am quite a novice at this. I just slap the paint down and have fun. So don't get out the watercolor police on me, please, because I really don't know that much about it. Just what I've watched other people do, and so I'm just going to have some fun. The parameters for this week is Dude's card, and I'm using an old Stampin' Up! Stamp, one of the set of 4 that I have of lighthouses. And this happens to be the Oregon Lighthouse. And that's where I grew up, by the way. So I kind of did this, I'll show you, I kind of did a prototype here. I just tried it out. I don't really like that very well, but I tried doing the watercolor first and then stamped on top of it. I am using watercolor paper. So this one I'm going to stamp. I stamped on the watercolor paper first, and then I think I'm going to try and color it in. Now I am using a watercolor paint set, Artistro. It has 48 colors. I really like this set. I mean, I think it's a good beginner's set, really, honestly. It's got this watercolor pen or paintbrush with the water in it, which is awesome. It comes with a brush, and this is an extra fine tip. I'm not even sure if I looked at this. Oh, it is a black marker, or it's a extra fine tip water marker, I guess. Water-based ink, that's what it is. Okay, so, and then it comes with this little sponge here. It's got some wells for you to mix your paints. So that's pretty awesome. This is a really good beginner set, I think. And I can't remember. I think it was Bitty Penny that I first saw use this set. I could be mistaken. But I thought, oh, I like that set. So anyway, I haven't used it very much. So I'm going to use it on this card. So here we go. I will be splicing this video together because I'm going to do this in segments, but I think what I'm going to do first is color in the lighthouse itself. And all you watercolorists out there, just have some grace with me because I know not what I'm doing. Okay. And use this color. This is kind of a peacock blue color. What is this? Cayenne. Paint the lighthouse blue. And the reason I'm doing that is because I'm not doing the sky blue. I'm doing the sky the sunflower fields color, which is the perimeter. It's going to be a sunset. Okay, so I believe you would start with the darkest color first. So we would start with the darker color down here. Which is a deeper red. I'm going to leave space for the sun setting. Not exactly sure what these marks here are supposed to be, except maybe clouds, but then we'll move up to the next color. I think if you want to blend, you need to do it while it's still wet. You can blend the colors. Whoops. Getting a little careless there, Vickie. I think I might be able to go back in and fix that. If I take all the color off my paintbrush, I can go lift that off. And I'll just fill that in again with the blue in a minute. Okay, and then we'll go to the next lighter color. That's probably the thing I miss most about Oregon is the beautiful Oregon coast and the gorgeous sunsets. I just miss the coast, period. Yeah, the beach was my happy place when I lived there. It still is my happy place, but I don't get to go very often. This year I was in Oregon in June for my granddaughter's graduation from OSU, and I got to go. I grabbed another granddaughter that lived across the river in Vancouver, Washington, which is where I lived when I moved back there for a while. By the time we got down there, we only had a couple hours to spend, and then had to head back because I had to be back for a dinner we were having with some people. And I would have started out earlier, but my granddaughter said, "Oh, why don't we start at 10?" And I'm like, well, okay. So I had to go pick her up and then go down to the coast. Well, by the time we got there, it was, we kind of ran out of time, but we had a good time. We put our toes in the water. We got to have a really nice lunch together, and I enjoyed it a lot. So again, I really don't know what I'm doing, but I'm just having fun, as we should be, right? So I need to watch some more videos about water painting and watercoloring, and I don't have as steady a hand as some, but I'm thinking, well, watercolor, it's kind of loosey-goosey anyway, sort of, so. some of this darker color down here. Okay, and okay, so down here, this is going to be like the sun setting down here, so I want to put lighter yellow. I keep getting more red up in there where I don't want it. I do know I have seen people say that if you go in with the water, you can lift it off, which seems to be working okay. So I'm going to use this bright yellow here for a little bit. I think I might have to let that dry a little bit before that'll, because it's just going to blend with what's already on there. Okay, and then so what I want to do is make this really, the lights in here really bright. So I'm going to use this, it's like a fluorescent yellow in here for the lights. And I think this little house down here, this is probably like the building that helps run it or something. Oh, I might put some yellow in this window too. I have a friend that is amazing at watercoloring, and she would probably die if she saw this. But anyway, she wouldn't. She's very supportive. She's very sweet. I could get some pointers from her. Okay, so I think what I want to do is around the railing and stuff, I'll use kind of like a dark gray. Up here on the roof. Looks like more of brown. I'll get a darker colors here. Get the roof. Okay, and then clean off this brush. I'm using book pages over here to wipe my brush off on, get rid of the color. Okay, so let's do I don't know how to do this actually. We'll just do a light brown. Oh, that's not so light. And then we'll get some grass. I think this is grass. around there. Get the base of this lighthouse down here. Okay, I need to go back in with some of this paint, this blue. Go over that. Okay, well, I think that's not looking too bad. I mean, right, for a beginner. I need to let that dry before I try to put some bright yellow on there. Okay, and what was I gonna do? Oh, some dark blue. I think around this blue-gray, around these clouds. They kind of look, you know, I don't know. It's all a matter of your imagination and interpretation, right? Art is art. So, okay, I think I'm going to let that rest. So I've got the sunflower fields colors, and the dude's card, of course, is this. Oh, I know what I was going to do. Get some sand. And kind of a I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. But you know what? I'm having fun. Okay, so I think I'm going to stop there with that. Let it dry because I will be cutting this part out to put on the card. This is what I'm using for my base. It's a navy blue cardstock, and this is a light gray. It has some, it's not really texture, it kind of is texture, but it's, I don't know, very, very, very faint light bluish gray. I don't know if you can tell. Kind of has a silvery sheen to it. So that's going to go on as the matte, and what I'm going to do is, I think what I'm going to do is kind of curl up the edges a little bit. And we'll see. Maybe not. But I've done that before where you kind of curl it up and rough up the edges. Makes kind of a cool effect. But anyway, okay, we're 19 minutes in already. So what I'm going to do is leave this. We will come back after this dries. I'll have it cut out. And I need to find a little bird. I have another stamp set that has little tiny birds. I'll put a couple birds on here. So that'll cover that perimeter. And then I'm going to take the soot. I'm using Tim Holtz Distress Ink Black Soot for inking around here. Or around here, one of the two. I won't go as far as Chelsea Comer did last week, where she went out to her fire pit and actually got soot out of her fireplace. So I'm not going to do that. But anyway, there you go. And I will be back for part 2 of this card. See you in a minute. Okay, so my little watercolor here dried, I add a little more sand down here on the bottom. I changed my mind and I'm using a black card base. I just think it'll look better. And so what I'm going to do is, I tried tearing two opposite corners on here to curl it up, and it wasn't working right. So I'm using this Tim Holtz soot black for the soot perimeter to ink up the edges here. So this will cover my soot perimeter. This is just an interesting paper. It was part of a gray pack that I got, I think, from Michael's, but it's really thin, you can tell. I like it. It's a very pretty color. Of course, my ink pad just turned upside down on my mat. Okay, so that just sets it off a little bit. And I'm also going to ink around the edges of this. I'm very much a proponent of inking. I just think it really sets things off. So I'm going to put a mat behind here also. And before I do that, I have a little stamp. Oh gosh, did I lose it? No, here it is. Oh, I dropped. I got this little, it's actually an eagle, but it's small, so maybe you can't tell. Maybe you with an eagle eye can tell. But I'm going to put a couple birds on here. That was the third parameter. And I guess I'll put another one. Wish I had one a little bit smaller, but I don't. So I'll put it over here. Okay, so there's the birds. All right, so let's start gluing. Oops. Now, I didn't quite get this all unclogged before I stuck it in the jar, so. I had left it in the jar too long the other day. I think I left it in overnight and the paper towel dried up, so it did clog up on me. You gotta, you know, the clue is not to let it dry. So we'll get this glued down to the mat. I don't think my watercoloring turned out too bad, considering I very rarely do this, so. trying to stay on screen. I know this is a little bit longer than it is wide, but that's okay. Make sure it's opening the right direction. Okay. So there is my card, basically. I did not pick out a sentiment yet to put on here, but I think it's going to be a happy birthday card. Or maybe a thinking of you. A friend of mine had a knee replacement a few days after I had mine. So I'm thinking I should probably send him a card also. Okay, so what I'm going to do is use the rest of this gray paper to put on the inside, so I can write on it or stamp something. I'll probably write on it because I will put the sentiment on the outside. Okay, so there's the inside I can write on, and there is my card. The perimeters again was a dude's card. Sunflower Fields colors, which the oranges and the yellows for sure is that. Birds is element, and soot is random, which I have put soot around, inking around the edges. So there it is. Let me know what you think. Okay, guys, till next time, have a wonderful night. Hope you're all doing well. And be blessed wherever you are, whatever you're doing. Have a great night. Bye.